To the Dansports.tips baseball show for today, the 18th of April. I'll be taking a look at everything on the baseball today, sports betting and daily fantasy games on DraftKings. We'll start with the sports betting as usual. Again, we haven't had the most auspicious start to the season. There's a couple of games I like today. We've got good weather conditions for the hitters with best average pitching in Milwaukee at the Chicago Cubs, which will take to go over 9.5 runs, and Cleveland at Minnesota will take that to go over 9 runs. It's a 2-point double, pays 4.10 odds with Bet365, and hopefully we'll cop that and get ahead on the doubles for the year. Looking at the daily fantasy games on DraftKings today, the pitchers I like: Max Scherzer of the Washington Nationals for 12,800, Yu Darvish of the Texas Rangers for 10,700, Chad Kuhl of Pittsburgh for 5,800, and Brian Johnson of Boston for 4,200. Scherzer is the best pitcher on display today. He's got tremendous upside to the level of 20 strikeouts as we saw in a game last year. Yu Darvish is pitching in a nice ballpark in Oakland. He's coming in off of a double-digit strikeout outing. Chad Kuhl handled the Red Sox well on his last trip to the Hill, has started the season well for the Pirates, gets the Cardinals today. Brian Johnson has been strong in the minor leagues prior to the call-up and potentially can translate that into a decent outing in the big leagues at a value price against the struggling Blue Jays team. Stacks of the day today, I will take the Chicago Cubs first baseman Anthony Rizzo for 5,000, Ben Zobrist at second or in the outfield for 4,100, outfielder Carl Schwarber for 4,400, Chris Bryant at third for $5,000, and catcher Wilson Contreras for 3,600. I will also stack in that game on the other side the Milwaukee Brewers outfielder Domingo Santana for 3,600, Eric Thames qualifies at first and in the outfield for 3,900, Ryan Braun in the outfield for 4,600, Hernan Perez at third or short for 3,400, and second baseman Jonathan Villar for 4,300. And from the Cleveland Indians, shortstop Francisco Lindor for 4,700, Carlos Santana, who qualifies at first and in the outfield for 4,400, Jose Ramirez at second for 4,000, Lonnie Chisenhall at third and in the outfield for 3,300, and outfielder Brandon Guyer for 3,200. We've got nice weather conditions forecast in Chicago, at Wrigley, and at Minnesota in target field for the hitters. I will take both sides at Wrigley. I don't trust Jimmy Nelson. He's 1-3 in his last 5 starts over the past 3 years at Wrigley Field with a 4.66 ERA. I'm not buying Brett Anderson just yet either. Milwaukee have got plenty of power, and obviously with the wind blowing out there, that will aid them greatly. Minnesota, I prefer to take the Tribe against the fly ball happy Phil Hughes as well. The foundation players today: first, Edwin Encarnacion of Cleveland for 4,500. Second, Daniel Murphy of Washington for 4,400. Third baseman Miguel Sano of Minnesota for 4,100. Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki of Toronto for $4,000. And outfielder Nelson Cruz of Seattle for 4,300. While not included in the stack, I'm happy to use Encarnacion at target with nice conditions today in what is an underrated yard for the right-handed power hitter. Daniel Murphy started strong, carrying on from last year. Has the platoon against Foltynewicz. Sano is a twin that I am willing to use, as he is their primary power threat these days. Tulowitzki does face the inexperienced Brian Johnson. He hits high up in the order as well. And Nelson Cruz, who we know hits home runs, has platoon advantage against Wei Yin Shen today, who's coming in off a nightmare outing on his last visit to the mound. Value plays: catcher Matt Wieters of Washington for 2,900, first baseman Greg Bird of New York for 3,300, Logan Forsythe of the Dodgers qualifies at second and third for 3,700, Tyler Saladino of the White Sox for 3,500, he qualifies at third and short, Jorge Polanco of Minnesota for 3,300 at shortstop, and outfielder Melky Cabrera of the White Sox for 4,000. Wieters is lower priced in my eyes than he should be today. Greg Bird has got the platoon against Miguel Gonzalez, displayed what he can do just the other day with the bat. Logan Forsythe will be hitting leadoff for the Dodgers. Saladino and Cabrera get Luis Severino, a subpar pitcher in a decent yard for hitters in the Bronx, and Jorge Polanco is another twin with the platoon that I'm happy to use at Minnesota today. That's all I've got for you today. Show is out late. Should be back earlier in the day because the kids go back to school tomorrow. Happy days. Do please like the video, subscribe to the channel, give me a follow on Twitter at DansportsTips. Let me know in the comments section what you think is going to happen in the baseball today. I'm going to be here regularly throughout the season. See you soon. Play ball.